So, Scott,
Yeah.
tonight didn't exactly go how we thought it was going to go. I mean,
Right.
come away with a loss against Stanford, number 3 team. We were number 2. What in your eyes went wrong in the game?
To me, I felt like we were playing real loose, really well at the beginning of the game. We had a nice lead, and then Stanford, good volleyball team. They started making plays, started coming back, and to lose that first game after having a good lead, for a team like us, I think we get comfortable with being as good as we are. So I think for a team to do that to us was kind of a shock. So I think you could see it in our body language and then most obviously our play. In the second game, we were kind of tight. We were kind of just in like a daze almost. So tough situation for us to not be able to just bounce back from a comeback like that. And then but you could tell. Obviously we weathered the storm. Nothing went our way in the second game. Yeah. And then I think we had some good resiliency in the third game. We came back, we competed, even when we were down by a significant margin again. We were right back in there. We were taking it to them, just didn't happen again.
Yeah, volleyball is it's such an emotional game.
Yeah.
Like how do you pick yourself up after a game like that? Getting the team together and making that joint effort to kind of pick your game back up. As well as the intensity that drops off.
Right. You just got to think of it as you can have a game like that second game where they'll come out, they'll punch you in the mouth, and you'll be sitting on your butt. But that's just one game, so you've got a whole new game to come back. We showed that we didn't play as poorly as we did in game 2. So anything's possible. New game's a new game. As our coach said, you play the game 1 point at a time. Think of the game as a bunch of small points and not a whole thing. Think of point number 16. You don't think of point number 25.
And when you're in that situation, what fires you up?
Fires me up to see my teammates fired up. When we get a play, there's nothing worse in volleyball to be losing and then to make a big play and everybody just kind of is okay with it. If you're losing and you make a big play, I want to be fired up about it. If somebody bounces the ball or gets a big block, I want to. That's a big point for us. It's good for us.
We saw that in the third game. You got a big block, and you came down pumped.
Yeah.
And the resiliency started.
Yeah.
So how do you think, though? Obviously, in the first game we had a different lineup. Second game, a different lineup again. In the third game, we saw Zach come in,
right.
And he kind of lit a little fire in there. Talk about that.
Yeah, I think we need players like Zach. Our team's so great because we're so deep. We can put anybody in at any position, and we can still take it to teams. There's no lack of talent on this team. And guys like Zach, as a true freshman, he's going to be fired up to play any chance he gets. To back up Carson Clark, who's top, is the leading ace guy who's ever played in school. Coming and filling Carson's shoes, that's a big deal for him. And for a guy like that, you can just see it on the court. One play happens, and Zach he's getting me going. He's fired up just to be there, which is good for everybody. In situations like that, that's what you need. You need that guy who's going to bring you up even when everybody's down.
All right, Dan, we came in here tonight. Stanford, no matter how you cut it, they're going to be a tough team to play, right? That first game, that was a heartbreaker.
Yeah.
Second game, we saw there's definitely a lull in the competitiveness.
Yeah.
But we also saw you guys make some big plays out there in the third game and kind of start to fight back.
Yeah.
Talk about that for a little bit.
Yeah, we finally, dug deep and found a little competitiveness in us, but unfortunately it's just a little too late. We tried to pull out a nice little win at the end of set 3, but just a little bit too late.
Yeah, we had Stanford's got a great hitter on their side, that Brad Lawson.
Yeah.
He's a big dude. He's a champion as well.
Yeah.
He won the NCAA title. Shutting him down was a major aspect of the game tonight, and we weren't able to do that.
Yeah.
So if you can't shut down him, where do you focus?
We got to focus on our team, and especially in transition when we had the opportunities to put the ball away, we just weren't in system, couldn't click with the setter. So, Stanford played a great match too. When teams come to play us, they come to beat Irvine. So
yeah,
we just couldn't step up and match their level of play tonight.
Service errors, we had a lot of them tonight.
Yeah.
Is that something we're going to be working on?
Oh yeah, something we work on all year. Unfortunately, this tonight didn't work out for us. They have a great libero in Eric Soji, so you want to try and keep the ball away from him a little bit and gets in your head. But we definitely could have taken care of business better from the service line tonight.
Now, coming up and like you had mentioned, the transition that we had. We weren't smooth. Weren't having some little bit of miscommunication out there.
Yeah.
I mean, is that because we saw some different lineups tonight, and maybe the chemistry just wasn't quite there? Or in volleyball, sometimes you just kind of have an off game.
Yeah, sometimes you just have an off game. I think we're playing a little timid too. A little tight. And when you're tight, you're not playing loose, obviously, but it definitely affects you. And when you only get so many transition opportunities, and you want to take care of every single one. So it's just a bad night. Yeah. One of those nights.
Now, the first game though, when we had that lead, I saw some bics out there. Kevin Tilley was putting the bic down.
Yeah.
And you guys were fired up.
Yeah.
We didn't see that in the second and third games.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking the bic is a pretty key play, and if we're not running it, that's a pretty good indicator that we're not feeling very good.
Yeah, the bic, has always been a big part of the program here at Irvine. We love to run it, and I think, for the most part, we run it better than any other team in the country. But, tonight it was just one of those nights.
Just not our night.
Just not our night.
Well, anyway, that's going to be it, man.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Oh, thank you.
Tough loss, man,
Yeah.
but hey, you guys will bounce back.
Yeah, definitely.